one that if I use was to qualify, then I'm not doing justice because he's always been part of Ground Zero. Though he's far away, he's always with us, giving us all the advices and all of that that we need to know. He was right there from the beginning of Ground Zero, even up till this moment. You'll get to meet him in a short while. And also there is another constant decimal, and that constant decimal too is live in the studio with us. So you are listening to Ground Zero. My name is Ehis Agbon, and on the program we give opportunity to you, the listener, to be part of the program, and of course to every other person. On the program today, we will be looking at the marching order that the President Bola Tinubu has given to our security chiefs. That's one item that we're looking at on the program Ground Zero today. And also on the program, we'll be looking at what's really happening to Senator the Akpabio. He was almost as good as having the Senate presidency in his bag, but we cannot actually say what happened, and suddenly it's something else that we are hearing as a major backer to Akpabio, which is the Tinubu team, seem to be backing out. But all of this, in the course of the program, we'll look at them and see what we can make out of all of them. Now you can watch us live on YouTube, and the frequency to see us on YouTube is Procyon RTV, and Procyon is spelled Procyon RTV. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and LinkedIn. We have a unified handle, Procyon RTV. And with that, you'll be able to interact with us, drop your comments, your observation. Let's get to know what's happening and how you can be a part of it. All right. Let me introduce my guest to you this evening. Let me start first from the veteran journalist, a media strategist, and the chief operating officer of Daily Asset in the person of Eddy Ochigbo. Eddy Ochigbo, like I said earlier, has been a constant decimal here right from the start, even up to this moment. Yes, assignment may take him out far. If I say international, I wouldn't be making a mistake, but he's been extremely very busy being part of us. Eddy Ochigbo, you are welcome to Ground Zero.
Thank you very much, Ehis. I appreciate so much, and I want to convey my best wishes to the listening public.
All right.
And it's good to be back in Canada.
Thank you so very much. And while you were traveling and trying to represent us internationally, globally, nationally, another constant decimal was holding forth for you here in Canada.
I know.
In the person of Danjuma Abbas Dangwa from the Coalition of Association and Leadership, Peace, Empowerment and Development. Danjuma, you are welcome to Ground Zero.
Thank you so much for having me, Ehis. It's a pleasure to be on Ground Zero today.
Your voice is quite low.
It's a pleasure to be on Ground Zero today, and my greetings to our listeners out there.
All right, thank you so very much, Danjuma. Okay, and for those that are just joining us, those listening to us on Invicta FM, we want to appreciate you all and also thank the management and staff of Invicta FM for giving us their airways to also talk about what's trending in the polity. Meanwhile, you can also listen to us on the newly launched Procyon Radio and TV app on Google Play Store. That's Procyon Radio and TV app on Google Play Store. It's been a long time coming, and we really thank you all for standing by us and waiting for us. You can download the app if you go to the Google Play Store. Just put in Procyon Radio and TV. Procyon Radio and TV. You'll see us there, download it, install it, and the advantage and benefit of the app is that first, you will use extremely light data to do a 24-hour on us without wasting data. Then secondly, you have a one-stop shop where you can watch our TV portal, listen to our radio portal, and of course, read the news that is coming on procyonnews.com, because Procyon Radio, Procyon Television, and ProcyonNews.com, they are all product of Procyon Media Limited. And we are doing our best to be the best broadcast content providers in the world. All right, so let's go straight into looking at more details about the program today. We will be looking at the marching order that President Bola Tinubu gave to the service chiefs and security heads in the meeting he held 2 days ago with them, and where he told them that they need to go after oil thieves, they need to bring the other security challenges that we are having, banditry, kidnapping, and all of that, they need to bring it under control and all of that as the first item that we'll be looking at on the program today. While the second item is the fact that ZERO Akpabio, that was almost home free, suddenly it seemed as if the Tinubu camp has backed out of the Akpabio endorsement as Southwest senators consider fresh options. And of course, Undume counters claim, says it's not true. Okay, I'll just go through some stuff here. There are strong indications that suggested that the candidacy of former Senate Minority Leader Senator ZERO Akpabio may have hit a brick wall, as President Bola Tinubu is said to have withdrawn his support for him in the contest for the Senate President in the 10th National Assembly. Excuse me. If you may recall, the progressive APC had announced that the endorsement of Senator ZERO Akpabio and 3 others for the topmost position in the National Assembly. It has a blessing, but with what we are getting now, there are indications that the Bola Tinubu team is backing up, and we will also look at that, analyze, and do some calculated permutations to see how it will all go. Meanwhile, let's come straight to the security issues bedeviling our nation and the fact that the president has given marching orders to the service chiefs. I'll start with Eddy Ochigbo. Now, in the meeting where we had the heads of different security agencies and the service chiefs, the president said, 1, they must go after oil thieves. 2, they must bring all of our security challenges under control. This is a marching order that the new president is giving, which we know that the former president has severally done. Is it going to be, are they going to do what is requested from them, or is it going to be business as usual? From your own perspective, Eddy Ochigbo.
Thank you very much, Ehis. It's good to be here. There is a slight difference, between the Agbon administration and what has come in today, because I see that Tinubu seems to be in a hurry to hit the ground running. So the marching orders that has been given again and again and again that they didn't work under an army general.
Retired.
Army general.
The general has not retired.
No, let's just give him that courtesy of a general. So now that someone like Tinubu, who is regarded in several cycles as somebody, as a performer, is hitting the ground, appointing the necessary people who are making wrong government. It's good. But my concern is that what he emphasized, that's oil theft that he emphasized, to me was a misplacement of priority.
Okay.
He should have emphasized the security of the ordinary Nigerian, those who have been in IDPs for 2 years. Like my state, for instance, in Benue, I'm from Benue. My village has been sacked. So these are the kind of things that we thought, even though oil thief, we know that it's good to fight it, but the president should have emphasized that over and above oil theft. If you are emphasizing the issues of oil theft, is that okay, all you want is to get revenue. And when this revenue is gotten, it's shared by the privileged few.
The
What,
bourgeoisies.
what reaches the ordinary man is my question. So it's good, but let them consider the ordinary man, please.
All right, Danjuma, Abbas, Dangwa, react to that.
Well, it's actually something that agrees with the president's inaugural speech. The president had mentioned security as one of his first quick fixes, um, talking about overhauling architecture and even manpower. So perhaps we want to see all of that and how it pans out. But one critical issue, like Mr. Eddy Ochigbo had remarkably mentioned, is beyond just the issue of oil theft. Nigeria has become a playground of bandits, terrorists that are across the entire sub-Saharan African space, proliferation of arms from the conflict-ridden Libya, and now Sudan coming into crisis and chaos is already spelling a lot of issues and concerns around transborder related kind of crimes. And then you want to look at the fact that we've seen bandits who are operating in Nigeria being said to be even foreign elements. I mean, the Sultan of Sokoto made that assertion sometime in 2016. The immediate past governor of Kaduna State, Malam Nasir Rufai, had mentioned that at a point in time. And then we've listened to even the U.S. military high command in Africa mention that indeed the Al Qaeda in the Maghreb, as a group, is already infiltrating parts of northwest Nigeria. And so the dimensions to which we are fighting terrorism and insecurity is multidimensional, and certainly we need all hands, on deck. And so you look at these transborder crimes issues, you also factor the fact that we got to the point of paying as high as 23 billion US dollars per annum on fuel subsidy, because most of it is being smuggled through our borders. And of course, you know that people don't use 25-liter jerry cans to smuggle that kind of that quantity of PMS. And so it is passing through land-controlled borders. And somewhere, somehow, the president has just vacated office again for the incumbent, has also hinted that it will require much more than equipment and manpower to police our borders. And so there are lots of questions now begging for answers, because he has now said he's going to invest immensely in equipment, immensely in manpower, immensely in training. So if we are going to see marching orders translating to results, let's agree that what we have currently cannot deliver it.
Okay.
And then let's look again at the fact that in all of the crises and conflicts that has been faced within the Nigerian borders, the response time of our armed forces, whether in suburbs, urban centers, rural communities, border communities, have been largely very poor and unacceptable. We saw the Kuje prison break. Kuje is in the Federal Capital Territory of Abuja, of Nigeria, for God's sakes. And this prison break was a success, even with all of the command structures and facilities and equipment that are in place to actually ensure that Abuja is secured. These people were able to have their way. So we've seen moments where our armed forces have been largely embarrassed, overwhelmed, on their mind. And our constitution is desecrated by elements that are largely said to be foreigners than really indigenously Nigerians. And so marching orders at this moment will not just cut it for us. We also should see some level of action in line with the policy trust that the president has already pointed out during his inaugural speech.
All right. Now, still looking at the marching order given and the fact that in the past administration we also had such marching orders, and we all know the kind of results that we got from such marching orders and all of that. What do you think? First, do you think that this new sheriff that's in town has the capacity to make the service chiefs do what they are employed or engaged to do? Will they carry out the orders that the president has given, since they seem to have been so used to probably not carrying out the orders or so? What can they do differently that would start to give us results? Eddy Ochigbo.
Thank you very much. That is a very, very interesting question because it hits the nail. Yeah. There are marching orders and there are marching orders. If you recall very well, Ehis, there was a point when, after a series of marching orders,
Yeah.
you know, and at a point that the thing became embarrassing to the federal government,
Yeah.
Immediate past President Buhari said, I mean, there was this release that they said now is go for the kill. It's different from the former marching orders that we've given. Did you follow anything like that?
Yeah.
That now it's going to be a different ball game.
Yeah.
That they will really go to rout them out, and you know that marching order also failed. So I link it to political will.
Mm.
You know, does Tinubu, or will Tinubu have the political will
To back up.
It's
the
not about
order.
his capacity and strength, no.
Mm.
You know, even during the campaign, people say, no, it's not about strength now.
Yeah.
The capacity,
Intellectual
capacity to know what is to be done and how it will be done successfully.
And when it should be
And
done.
how, the right timing and how to actually arrive at success.
Mm. Mm.
That's the point.
You know
Political
what?
goodwill that lead to success.
You know, one major statement that also came from President Tinubu, he said that the era of the security agencies working at the crossroads
It's gone.
is gone.
Yes.
At cross purpose.
And he talked about intellectual, architect, you know, rejigging the architecture.
Security architecture of the nation. Majorly that working at crossroads, that it won't be condoned. Now, I still do not really understand
The dynamics.
the dynamics of it and what he actually meant by working. I don't know if
Matthew will give you.
Well, you're talking about institutions working in silos independently when they're supposed to be collaborating, and in most instances they're actually being competitive. You know, one of the hallmarks of the Buhari administration is that people who were favored were able to outlive their constitutional mandate in terms of tenure in office, you know, than most. We've seen even the Inspector General of Police. We've seen the military chiefs from the Army, the CDS, even the Navy and the Air Force. So these institutions, again, when we're talking about their need for collaboration, the only thing that makes collaboration difficult is when the issues of budgetary allocations, implementation and financing is actually something that everybody wants to guard jealously. So there are so much workings that needs to be looked into. It's not just enough to say they must not work across purposes. Yes, there is a sharing of intelligence. Perhaps the Department of State Security, even though recently the understanding is that the law says it's State Security Services, not Department of State Security.
Yeah.
You know, gathers intelligence, shares together with other response institutions like the police, the immigration, and even the armed forces. But what do you have at the end of the day? What we have seen over the years is that communities know when attacks will happen. And when these attacks happen, they still happen as a success. And certainly you cannot say that a community that knows an attack will happen have not made efforts to report. I know the kind of investments that we have enjoyed from donor institutions in Nigeria, trying to strengthen early warning and early response systems, early warning and early response systems, you know, even the early warning systems themselves, you know, in place, and to just ensure that the risk to loss of lives and property is adequately addressed, and then the opportunities for early recovery is also adequately harnessed. But when you look at the response time of our armed forces, it seems most often that we're not there yet. Take, for instance, we cannot continue to work in the system of and ensure that we have effective policing when police vans will still be required to be fueled by either citizens who come reporting or even the policemen who have to go out on a beat and get something out of the people who pay taxes to finance these institutions. So by the time they have to they rely on just that, there is no such thing as working at cross purposes. There is such need to actually fix malfunctioning systems within institutions.
I'd say,
In addition, what is
yes,
trying to stress it properly is there should be chain of command. Who reports to who? How do you get to the point of resolving the issues? Not competition. This one wants to claim credit. This one. So who is in charge? Chain of command.
Yeah, you're listening to Ground Zero, and it's coming to you on Procyon Radio and Television, and for those listening to us via terrestrial, in collaboration with Invicta FM Kaduna, and it's a regular feature from 5 to 6 p.m. every day of the week, but on Tuesdays and Fridays, you'd have the opportunity of also listening to us on Invicta FM. But meanwhile, for every other days, you can just go straight to the Procyon Radio and Television app and listen to us. And to get that app, you download it or go to any of the posts in respect of today's program. You'll see a link, click on it, and it will help you download the app on your mobile phones and other portable devices so that you can listen to Procyon Radio and Television any day, anytime, anywhere, and however. And the beauty of it, like I said before, is a one-stop shop where you can watch our television programs, listen to our radio, and also read all of the news that is on procyonnews.com, our news website. All of it just one click away, because click on that link, you will be able to download the app. And of course, if you go to Google Play Store, you can download the Procyon Radio and TV app. The spelling of Procyon is Procyon. That's the spelling of Procyon. Once you put Procyon Radio and the symbol and television, not television, and TV. Procyon Radio and TV. You'll see the app, download it, install it, and listen to us and have fun with us. In a short while, we'll be opening up the phone lines, but before we do that, we'd also want to look at the second item that we talked about, which is the Tinubu group that we have sources saying that they have backed out of their endorsement and support for an Akpabio Senate president. First, Eddy, I'd like to get your views on this. Why should the executive be even involved in who the Senate president is in the first place? Then secondly, endorsement from APC as a body before, Tinubu group before now, and of course the withdrawal or backing out of the Tinubu team. How is it going to affect Akpabio's ambition to be the next Senate president of the 10th Assembly?
Thank you very much, Ehis. Actually, if you ask me, I'll tell you that the politicians, young politicians especially, they are on the chessboard.
Okay.
When they move,
their pieces,
and they move to the wrong distance, they just surrender some pawns.
Yeah.
So that they don't kill them. So,
and use that to strategize.
So, if you look at what our new president, Bola Tinubu, has
Bola Tinubu.
Bola Tinubu. No, Ahmed, this is
No. It's against convention.
Okay,
so only use two names, Bola Tinubu, the Ahmed.
Okay, we do to take it.
Everywhere now, even in the US. I didn't get to know about it until recently.
So you want to remove the acronym BAT that makes him fly
Bola, when Clinton was president, he said he was Bill, Williams, Jefferson, Clinton, and they told him that no. Right there, they told him no.
Yeah, I didn't know when it was enforced.
Pick two names that.
Okay, Bola Tinubu.
All right, sir.
If you look at some of the appointments that's made so far, trying to create that balance, and the way he's doing it, it's as if the guy wants to actually, be objective in what he intends to achieve.
Mm.
So if you ask me, the issue that they hurriedly zone, how do you call them? That's one.
Microzone.
No, not microzone, consensus.
Okay, yes.
Arrive at a consensus that this must come from there. That is unconstitutional and undemocratic.
If you are looking at it from the perspective of just a citizen, a player, but also
no, the party is supreme, quite all right.
Yes,
but put this thing on the field that everybody will be free to play. Not to insist. You're trying to cut me. I just
sorry, please.
I'll learn so that you know where I'm going. So on that note, I would say that's on the note of what he's trying to do to create that balance. That may have led to the reversal or seeming reversal today, because the party has not come out to say that, look, we have reversed our decision. But SNIPPETS and all the feelers that are coming in show that they have abandoned this camp. And I'm saying that it's not surprising, because they want to create a balance and perhaps make this country more united, by ensuring that, because I know that is South, by ensuring that they South. They will not make that mistake of giving it, overloading one zone. So maybe they have a joker. That's my point.
Okay, now
not necessarily what you are thinking, that maybe in Northwest or there could be a joker.
But just like you said, I should have given you all the opportunity to land. How did you know that I was thinking of Southwest or Northwest? Okay, now my angle to it is that for every political player,
yes,
they reward loyalty and delivery. Looking at the most popular person from the Southeast, which is Kanu, Ojuzo Kanu, and looking at Godswill Akpabio, throughout the campaign, Godswill Akpabio was virtually always there with Bola Tinubu.
Even with Buhari, when they went to London and
yes.
bowed.
Then second, look at Ojuzo Kanu. He was never anywhere during the campaign trail, except when Tinubu was in his state, but did not go with him to any other place, even in the Southeast, while Akpabio did all of that, and also the Southwest and even elsewhere. Then secondly too, on the election day, done the same day, the same time, the total votes that he could get from Abia State was about 60,000 or so. That
minimal, very minimal.
Oh, sorry, 6,000 rather, not 60.
Minimal.
Why Ojuzo Kalu got over 60,000? Now, what some watchers were saying is that it means that Ojuzo Kalu did not even vote, campaign, or do anything for Bola Tinubu. Did not even give him the votes. Why Akpabio, if you want to look at the total stock of votes from the South, got him over 1 million votes. So if you want to reward political delivery, Akpabio, that's of course the impression of some watchers, but it's a different ball game if we look at that. I'll come to
No. You don't leave me there, because you leave me suspended there. I'm not in that camp of the other watchers.
Okay.
Critic.
Okay.
I want to say that perhaps what may be affecting Akpabio is the path he took to become senator, to be elected as senator. You know that he had double nominations. And they went to court and everything.
And Supreme Court that said that it was okay. So, like we all know, the Supreme Court, just like the way it said in the North, said go to Allah.
Go to God. So
go to God's court.
So what may be affecting him may be that path that he took that may be haunting him.
Okay. All right. So you are listening to Ground Zero coming to you on Invicta 98.9 FM, and it is a production of Procyon Radio and Television, giving you an opportunity to add your voice to the conversation that we are having right here on the program. And for those watching us from all over the world, very soon we'll be opening up the phone lines for you to call in. And of course, you can go to our various social media handles and drop your comments and observations. The post that we have made for today's program. So the number to dial to be part of the program is, should I call the number? I thought Danjuma Abbas's impression about the.
Yes, please put that on hold.
I have not even mentioned the number, so.
Let it come in, please.
Danjuma Abbas.
Well, I will really say in brief that a lot of this game around the politicking space right now, from the National Assembly to appointments and what have you, have really been issues that are too close to the chest of the decision makers. And you've seen that effort, for people trying to ruffle some feathers, raise some dust, throw out some kites and suggestions into the space. We understand that every now and then people are trying to make suggestive statements such that can elicit that kind of response to say, no, Akpabio is not abandoned, we're still with him. Or we are not zoning the office of the secretary to the government of the federation to a particular zone. You've had a lot of these issues around who gets what appointment at any given point in time. But it's still unfortunate that despite the independence of our own National Assembly, which is like our own Congress, the representative part of our democracy, are still looking up to an executive that they should have strong oversight duties over, and then strong legislative authority over, that in fact they determine how much this executive will spend and where it should be spending it. It's so unfortunate to already see that the executive is still whom everybody in that space is looking up to decide who becomes the principal officer. And then it is actually begging, for answers from all Nigerians who feel that they elected these people from very small constituencies, which they understand, they know that they are very much local and could actually be influenced more by the decision of the people more than the interest of the sharers of national cake.
If I did nothing to add other than to open up the phone line 0809 799 1989. 0809 799 1989 is the number to dial to be part of the program. Or you can go to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube and drop your comments and observation. You can watch us live now on YouTube, and you can do that via Procyon RTV. Just search for Procyon space RTV on YouTube, and you'll see us live. You watch us. Drop your comments because we'll be reading them out in the course of the program, and also giving you an opportunity to generally drop your voice right here. All right, we have our first caller. Hello, good evening, and welcome to the program.
Hello?
Yes, you're welcome to the program. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
Good evening, Ehis. Good evening, I guess, in the house.
Good evening.
Kure is the name.
All right, Mr. Kure.
Thank you. You are doing a great job to run this country. May God continue to protect you people there. You see, the president has given a marching order to the service chief. I don't think that marching order will work. That's my opinion. My reason is very simple. The former president has been giving marching order. When he done that, the marching order will not work. So I'm expecting him. If you want the marching order to work, let him just send the service chief and bring those that will be loyal to him. Maybe it may work. About the fuel subsidy, honestly, the timing is too close. He will have leave it after a month, or when he put one or two things there, then they can remove the fuel subsidy. People are not smiling. No. I don't think this regime will get it right if they refuse to listen to the yearning of the common man. And have a wonderful day. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Kure, for stopping by and giving us your angle to what we are discussing on the program this evening. The program is Ground Zero, coming to you from Procyon Radio via Invicta for those listening to us terrestrial, and Invicta for those that want to get us on Invicta. The frequency is 0809. I'm saying frequency, I'm on the phone number. 98.9 is the frequency that you can get Invicta FM. But meanwhile, for those that want to call into the program this evening, the number to dial is 0809 799 1989. I can see some person trying to call the office line. Please call the studio line. We may not be able to respond to you via the office line. Hello, good evening.
Yes, my name is Awusko.
Awusko, you are calling the office line. You would have called the studio line, but since I picked you, let us talk.
Okay. I want the president to stand his feet and let that matching order work so that it could not be like the other former president. And I also want the president to change the services immediately. It should change them so that he gets his loyal people that will be loyal to him. I'm recommending General
No, you cannot.
No.
You cannot recommend anybody because they have a hierarchy. They cannot jump any hierarchy. You can write a letter to the defense headquarters and all of that, but we will.
It should allow the Senate, its independence, to choose who will lead them.
Okay.
So that the independence of the Senate will be very important, so that the president cannot stampede them into doing big things.
All right.
Ehis, you are doing a great job.
Thank you so very much, Awusko, for dropping by this evening. 0809-799-1989 is the number to dial to be part of the program this evening. The program is Ground Zero, coming to you on Procyon radio and television via Invicta FM. All right. Okay, we have another caller this evening. Let's find out who this caller is. Hello, good evening, and welcome to the program. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Yes, you are on.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening. What's your name and where are you calling us from? Yes.
Okay, maybe another like that. I want to respond. Hello?
Hello, this is Ground Zero. Go ahead. I always say it. You cannot listen to the radio and call at the same time. Just
Okay.
once you hear my voice, you know you are on.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Welcome to the program. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
Okay, my name is Chief Sebastian from Barabari.
All right, Chief Sebastian, let's get your take.
Okay. To regard our president.
Our presidents.
Yeah. Hello. Sorry.
I am listening to you. The whole world is hearing you. Stop listening to the radio and talking at the same time.
In my own opinion, the senators should be allowed to elect their leaders.
Okay.
The president recommending them. Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Go ahead.
They should be allowed to elect their leaders.
All right.
So that will give them not anybody recommending anybody for them.
All right.
Then in security, for security,
Yes.
would like the president to stick to his opinion. Anybody that is not doing what he wants, he should show the person the way out so that we'll get to Nigeria, new Nigeria that will work for us. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, Chief Sebastian. All right, Chief Sebastian, and for others, so let me re-emphasize again that it will give you some level of disorientation if you try to listen to the radio and talk to us, because there is a time differential of like 20 seconds, right? So once your call is picked and you hear our voice from the studio, just respond to us, the voice you're hearing from the studio, not listening to the radio at the same time. Hello, good evening, and welcome to Ground Zero.
Good evening, sir.
You are welcome to the program. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
My name is Peter from Jabo.
All right, Peter. Hope this evening we are going to have a good call from you.
Yes, I believe so. I want to talk about the service shift.
All right.
That President give a marching order.
Yes.
I want them to do exactly what the president wants them to do.
All
and
right.
if anyone does not do what they want them to do, we have to show them the way out. Then he brings people
Thank you so very much, Sebastian. I'm so happy that you called in today and you made a very solid point. 0809-799-1989 is the number to dial to be part of the program. And of course, you can go to our social media handles and drop your comments also. And let's get talking on the program. Okay? 0809-799-1989. And on the social media handles, you can get us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Just connect to us and let's get talking right here on the program Ground Zero. We've listened to some of the comments that's coming from our listeners and also their impression about what is happening. Eddy Ochigbo, you had popular, all that called said the service chiefs should obey and follow what the president is saying. And if they do not, they should be showing the marching order. What does it give you about the impression of people in respect of the president that has been sworn in?
I think it's too early now to begin to assess him, but the people, I mean, our listeners have made a point that I think it's like the president has set a trap for the service chiefs.
Okay.
And he has given them, in clear terms what he wants them to do. And I'm sure there will be timelines. So maybe you just want to use that one to see how you can show them the way out if they don't deliver. But in the event of, say, okay, these people perhaps didn't deliver because they were not given the right, because he talked about re-equipping the army, making sure that the personnel, the army personnel, the soldiers and the officers, at the danger zone, all this thing, doing the job to defend us, well fed. He emphasized in his speech that if the morale of the military personnel is down, they should bring it up. I think those are very, very germane points that the president made. So, but the point there is, this may be the final assignment for the service chiefs. It's just the president wants just to have we have a leeway to say, okay, since you have not changed, you are still doing the same. Okay, go. So I think with time, which may be very soon, I see the president as appointing the service chiefs.
Oh, thank you so very much, Eddy Ochigbo, for that comment and observation. Let's take another angle to it now. That some of these persons who before now having the advantage of knowing them and their angle to everything that comes from the presidency over time and taking this new angle now, do you think that Nigerians are coming to the realization that yes, Bola Tinubu has been sworn in, the best they need to do is to support him?
Well, I think there is no vacuum in the presidency by constitution in any way. Even if he was not sworn in, there will still be an occupant of the #1 office in Nigeria. And so certainly Nigerians also understand that nation building is not for an individual alone, let alone a politician. And Nigerians have been quite vocal as to how our armed forces is running and the kind of services they're able to deliver and the quality of those services too. And certainly the outcry and the demand for what can be better is actually not something in doubt. And so the support that the president is getting is because his office will require it, of course. The public understand that whoever sits in that office must work in the interest of the public, and the public must also be able to participate effectively in stating what their opinion is concerning the quality of services being rendered. And I think that now more than ever, like the focus that we've always had, that there will be more accountability, in this particular administration because the people will be making high demands for it. And so that is actually something that we're seeing, currently happening quite clearly. But But to think again that we're still running around in the space of looking for people who could be loyal to a president before we get the job done is actually saying again why we're running around in circles and faced with the kind of problem we're faced with. Because the position of the Constitution is clear. You take an oath of office that you pledge allegiance to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to uphold and to defend it. Anything contrary to that is a misplaced allegiance, because at every given point in time, your allegiance to the CNC or the Commander-in-Chief is not in doubt, and also your allegiance to the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic must never be in doubt as a public servant or a public officer in that kind of standing. So yes, let the president shop for us for competent, dedicated, and patriotic Nigerians who can get the job done. That is what is required.
That's the least that is required. All right, you're listening to Ground Zero, and because I'm not just coming in this evening, and I can see that we have a little network issues here, and of course the technical team is already working on it, hoping that they'll be able to sort it out before the end of this edition of the program. But not to worry, we are working on it, and the program Ground Zero is a regular feature right here on Procyon Radio and Television. It comes to you every working day of the week from 5 to 6 p.m. And on Tuesdays and Fridays, we link to Invicta FM and give you give you an opportunity, most especially to those that are listening via terrestrial, to know and hear what we do right here on the program. Okay, we have just a few minutes to wrap it all up. Let's take some parting shots before we wrap up the program this evening, starting from Danjuma, Abbas, Dangwa.
Well, candidly, I'm quite impressed, to say the least, that the civilian president takes his first days in office to really tell the armed forces about his displeasure about the welfare and security of the citizenry, and also the issues of national assets and our territorial integrity. That is actually heartwarming. He must move beyond that to ensure that we have an armed forces with a better response time to any kind of chaos, crisis, or even criminality across the space of the Nigerian state. And then for the National Assembly, while I understand that party supremacy must subsist, but I think that for us as citizens, we actually want to see a competent parliament, a parliament that is able to really represent the Nigerian people, to ensure that our government is competent, accountable, and responsive.
And to Eddy Ochigbo, what would be your parting shots?
Thank you, Ehis. My parting shot would be that let's keep hope alive, as all eyes are on President. It shouldn't use three names. President Bola,
Bola Tinubu.
Bola Tinubu, so that I don't run short of here. So it's interesting that there has been a successful transfer of baton from another civilian rule. We don't have a democracy, so it's a civilian rule to a civilian rule. And mine is that as all eyes are on him, like my colleague has rightly said, let that nightmare of Buhari, as I described one of my pieces, my pre-piece to the inauguration, let him end Buhari's nightmare. Nigerians are not prepared to continue with this nightmare. The stroke that he made concerning subsidy removal is still creating tension. In fact, labor is going on strike if they don't come to some grounds with them. By Wednesday, the entire labor will. Let all these unnecessary things let the president just come and be able to bring that cohesion.
Yeah.
Nigeria, we need cohesion and unity.
Yeah.
That is the responsibility on his shoulders. He must end this nightmare that we endured for 8 years. That's my petition.
Ending the nightmare that we endured for 8 years and bringing the cohesion together, and also just handing it off that the Labour and the federal government need to sit down and discuss. Let's resolve this issue. The idea of the president saying that No matter what Labour does, he's made up his mind, he's made up his mind. No, I do not feel that's the route to go. I do not think that even shows you as a strong man.
There's always a middle ground.
But rather, it casts you as a dictator,
Yes.
which shouldn't be.
He promised he wouldn't rule over Nigeria.
Yes.
He would provide leadership.
Yes. So please, the executives and of course
governor,
the
not
labor unions should find a common ground. And the beauty of it is that almost every Nigerian agrees that indeed we should do away with subsidy. But the process and procedure is what many of them don't like with this present procedure. That maybe a phased removal.
It was hurriedly and wrongly done.
Something
that is right to, but hurriedly
done and wrongly done.
Yes.
Well, that's about the size of the program today. I sincerely want to appreciate everybody. I will start with appreciating the staff and management of Invicta FM for this wonderful collaboration that we have with Procyon Radio and Television, and also to thank Grace Adebayo and Michael Boniface, who are over there at Invicta FM linking us up. And here in studio, I want to sincerely thank our transmission controller in the person of Ehis Agbon. She is handling the digital portal and transmission today. And not forgetting my guests in the studio, Eddy, Ochigbo, Danjuma, Abbas, Dangwa, for creating time to be on the program today.
It's good to be here.
And of course, I'd like to appreciate Sarah Agbon, the general manager of Procyon Radio and Television, and also the production manager of the program Ground Zero, for all the works that you're putting in. I appreciate you all. My name is Ehis Agbon. You can call me the peacemaker. Plant a tree today, water it, and watch it grow. But like always, I'll tell you to keep shining like the star that you are. From Mondays to Fridays, 5:30, 5 o'clock to 6 is time for Ground Zero. And of course, listen to our other wonderful programs like Area Touring that comes at 7 a.m. every day of the week. Anyimbo is at 8 a.m. every day of the week. The entertainment news comes up at 9. And immediately after that, you listen to Procyon Trending. Procyon Trending is a very, very interesting program anchored by Sarah Agbon, and of course with her analyst in the person of MKO, Mr. Kayode Odimo, aka All-Rounder. Join them every day of the week from about 9, immediately after the entertainment news. And the newspaper review comes up from 6:30 to 7 every day of the week. You can get all of this by just downloading the Procyon Media app. That's the Procyon Radio and Television app. Go to Google Play Store and you do just that. Stay blessed as we start the weekend.